Hello and welcome into the UPJ Athletic Center in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, as we have yet another PSAC battle between the UPJ Mountain Cats and the California Vulcans. Welcome into the broadcast. I am Danny Beck, and joining alongside me today is Dylan Godet. And Dylan, we didn't have a game last weekend, or last Wednesday rather, so this is the first time this week that we're going to be seeing these California Vulcans, see if they can bounce back on the road.
It's 2 straight Wednesdays that we didn't make the trip. So they didn't have a game 2 Wednesdays ago, and then the weather kept us away on Wednesday. But we have a nice matchup here tonight between these two teams. Interesting for California, a bit of a different starting lineup for them. We'll get to that in a second, but should be an exciting matchup here. This California team has already beat this UPJ team once this season.
And we talked about the last games for either of these teams. California took on Gannon and in Erie, got the victory 62-50, and then for the other side, UPJ took on IUP, another tough PSAC West opponent, and unfortunately came on the losing side of that one, 57-47. And the last time both of these teams met was January 10th, 2018, over winter break. So we had a smaller crew for that one, have a little bit larger crew here in Johnstown today. And California got the victory 53-43 in the Convocation Center.
Yeah, that was a tight game there. Stephen Ruffing was on the call for that one. I was on camera. That was a surprisingly tight matchup between those two teams. Look for California to try to roll that momentum heading into this one. For California, Abby Sporio in the starting lineup for them. This is her former team, so it'd be nice for her to go against her former team here at UPJ.
It most definitely is, and a little bit different look. Also, I mean, this is the first season that they have a wood floor now. They had a rubber floor before and a big Pitt logo right in the middle. Dylan, I know that's probably riling you up a little bit, but you know, the flying WVU is not sitting in the middle of the floor here today, but it's also, you know, we can't see it, so I guess that helps out a little bit. You can see right there, it's towards the home side, which is normal, but normally see you know, the Cal logo is kind of spread out. We can see it, you know. It'll be interesting. So we have some starters for you here today, Dylan. If you want to go down the starters for your side.
For California, Bianca Jasper starting for the Vulcans, Abby Sporio, Shatara Parsons, Gianna Flood-Francis, and DJ Hahn. So a bit of a different lineup, starting lineup. No Natalia Casals there in the starting lineup for California. And for Pitt-Johnstown, Marina Nunn, Gabrielle Smith, Olivia McCabe, who is the one senior here on senior day for Pitt-Johnstown, Alexis Hartwick, and Tori Moreland. Rounds out your starting 5 for Pitt-Johnstown.
And California comes away with a tip as they'll set up their offense now with Bianca Jasper, at the helm. Over to Flood-Francis working around the outside. Trying to get to the inside, start off with Shatara Parsons. She passes over, a great pass to Gianna Flood-Francis. Unfortunately, cannot come up and convert, but California keeps it alive.
Now second chance opportunity there for California. You notice that first possession for California, Shatara Parsons was double teamed as soon as she got the ball there on the high post.
Trying to keep her in check here today is the Mountain Cats. Now Abby Sporio driving in, gets her dribble poked away. Now with 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Jasper driving in, tries to put up the shot, and she will be fouled on the shot. She will go to the line to attempt 2.
That was close there. It could have easily been a jump ball call, but Jasper gets the call, and now she's heading to the free throw line. Great first possession for California. Got the second chance opportunity, and then now you're sending Bianca Jasper to the free throw line.
You'd like to convert, as Bianca Jasper did not convert on her first. You know, you get those high percentage areas out there on the floor.
Not the best free throw shooting team is California, only 65% of the season. Bianca Jasper is at around 61%.
She hits her second, making the score 1-0 in favor of the Vulcans. Now with Nunn, the 5'7" sophomore, bringing it across the half-court line. Passing it in, trying to get that mismatch out there on the floor. Looks like California's in a bit of a zone right now, trying to push UPJ to the outside. Good pass on the inside and gets Gabrielle Smith her first bucket of the night.
Sporio was late in defensive rotation there. Couldn't get back to help, and it wound up an easy layup there for Smith.
A man look now for UPJ on defense, as Jasper kind of a giving go over to Shatara Parsons. Over to DJ Hahn now, cross-court pass. Pressure now by Alexis Hartwick. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock yet again. Flood-Francis from the corner, shot up and good. Gianna Flood-Francis converting her first 3 of the night.
She is shooting the ball 41% from behind the three-point line. 9%. So it's not the best three-point shooter is Bianca Jasper not the best three-point shooting team is California, only 28% this season.
UPJ driving in, and Shatera Parsons there to get the rebound. In transition now, California looking to slow this down just a bit. 8 minutes left in the first quarter of play. California up by 2. Hahn fakes the shot, gives it over to Sporio, who is then blocked away. I believe it'll be out of bounds, will not be a foul. California will retain possession with 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Parsons driving in, almost a hook shot put up. Olivia McCabe coming up with the rebound, and then pressured right away from Gianna Flood-Francis was Marina Nunn. Hartwick shot up and good. UPJ's first 3 bucket of the night.
And nice open look there. California gonna have to get out on that one and not allow them to have such open three-pointers. That could hurt California here in this one, as this UPJ team can't shoot the ball pretty well from behind the three-point line.
Sporio using a pick from DJ Hahn, gives it over to Flood-Francis. Elects not to shoot and gives it right back up to the top of the key to Jasper. Jasper then finding an open lane, gives it over to DJ Hahn. Hahn converts on the floater.
Nice move there, easily able to get into the lane and put it up and in. Big basket there for the Vulcans.
And Alexis Hartwick looks like she is coming up limping on that one, limping over towards the bench. And she will sub out. Coming in will be number 30, Maddie Shanahan. Right in front of the media table will be the toss in. Over to Gabrielle Smith, backing down Shatera Parsons, no good on the shot. And right over to Abby Sporio against her old team, brings it across half court, keeping the ball alive. Puts a shot up, no good off the front of the rim. California cannot convert off the turnover.
The Johnstown sideline wanted to carry there on Sporio, but they get the turnover.
Shanahan passing the inside. I believe will be off of a California hand, and it will be, so UPJ retaining possession with 21 seconds left on the shot clock.
They will retain possession. Didn't have a lot going there for them, but get another opportunity here.
California shooting 2 of 6 here today. And for UPJ, they're shooting 2 of 4, so even 50%. Ramping up the pressure now is California. Right underneath the basket is Olivia McCabe. She cannot convert. DJ Hahn coming up with the rebound. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this first quarter of play. Abby Sporio has it around the outside, driving in, looking to take the charge, and she cannot. As the ball rolls out of bounds, California will keep possession.
The crowd here at UPJ not too happy at the officials right now. A couple of questionable calls, and the officials starting to hear it from the stands.
Only about 3 minutes and some change into this game. You can already hear the fans behind us are getting into this one. Down by 1, up by 1, California with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Abby Sporio. Gives it over to Shatera Parsons. Parsons shot up, no good. Abby Sporio there for the rebound. Wide open shot now for Bianca Jasper, elects to not shoot. Hahn now cannot get it to convert. Abby Sporio trying to give it back out, but right there was Tori Moreland. Now in transition, California gets it right back off the hands of Olivia McCabe.
For Hahn, that open 3, I think that's the shot she needs to take. Off offensive rebounds, that's when you want to take three-point shots. And Hahn decided to go against that and take a much tougher shot in the paint.
Hahn now has it, gives it over to Parsons. Parsons just working around whatever she is given, and she gets the basket to convert. Now up by 3 are the Vulcans.
Again, Pitt-Johnstown staying with that. As soon as she gets the ball on the inside, double teaming her. But Parsons there has outworked them and got that one up and in.
So now ball dribbles right over to Tori Moreland. Moreland shot up, no good off the back of the rim. Right there is Shanahan for the rebound, and she cannot get it to convert. Almost wide open on that one. So now Jasper has it, working in. Slows the offense back yet again. Something that California's been doing much this first quarter of play. Hahn now shot up from the corner, and it is good. DJ Hahn, the three-point threat out there on the floor.
She hits a tough one there from the corner, and for California, more shots, three-point shots that can fall, the better for the Vulcans.
Nunn now passes it over, gives it right over to Abby Sporio. Abby Sporio yet again, another steal. And she gets her basket to convert as well. So California going on a little bit of a run now.
That they are, and UPJ, if they don't get a basket here, they may be close to having to call a timeout because California has taken control here in this last 2 to 3 minutes.
Nunn going right to the basket, and yet again, Abby Sporio there to pick up the steal. As DJ Hahn, another spotting up. No good off the front of the rim that time, but Jasper trying to keep it alive. She cannot. UPJ 2-on-2 in the transition now. Puts the shot up, no good. Now Shanahan, a shot from the free throw line and sinks it.
Big shot there as they got the offensive rebound and put it back up and in. Second chance points for both teams. That's how both teams have gotten most of their baskets here in this one.
California now shooting 5 of 12, that's 41.7%. Flood Francis tries to put a shot up. Once the foul will not be called.
Other than a play here so far today in terms of fouls.
McCabe just good defense on that one. Those veteran players out there on the floor, she knows what she has to do. Now at 15 seconds left on the shot clock. It was tipped away, so it will not be backcourt. 8 seconds left on the shot clock now. And another turnover as Abby Sporio comes up with the ball right to the basket and gets the shot to fall. And on that one, you can see Tori Moreland, she was trying to set her offense up, could not. And right there, you saw the timeout called.
Yeah, timeout is called, and Sporio starting out hot in this one. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals for Sporio. So Sporio now starting out very well against her former team, and now we're going to take a look at the tail of the tape. And we mentioned it early, points there for California, a very high-scoring team at 68.4. Not close to what they were last year. They're close to 80 last season, but a little lower this year. Pitt-Johnstown not quite scoring at a high mark as California, only 59.7. Field goal percentage, both teams pretty low there, 42, almost 43 there for California, 37 for Pitt-Johnstown. Pitt-Johnstown, the bigger team on the inside there, so they lead the rebounding there at 39 rebounds compared to California's 36. Turnovers, something to watch out for here in this one. Pitt-Johnstown, 19 turnovers per game against California, who likes to steal the ball 14 times per game. So be a nice chess match to see, can Pitt-Johnstown limit those turnovers, but we've seen so far they haven't been able to do so, already with 5 turnovers so far in this first quarter.
And really saw the stealing ability, the presence that California has really out there on the floor with Abby Sporio. It kind of seems like she's always at the right spot at the right time, gets the ball in transition and converts. You know, if we get her hot, you know, if you can see Jess Strom, get her hot, get Gianna Flood-Francis hot. She hit a 3-pointer earlier on in the game. If they get both of them hot, you can see everybody else around them kind of build the team up. And that's what they're trying to do. As I mentioned before, they were kind of on a little bit of a run. You know, they went out and they got a 3-pointer, a few easy baskets, and just trying to keep that up. New subbing as well, Mia Otterson. Shanahan pressured by Flood-Francis. Switches over, and Tara Parsons comes up with a steal, just put her hands right up and took the ball away. Flood-Francis now driving to the basket, gets the basket to fall, and one going to the line to attempt the 3-point play.
Nice drive there by Flood-Francis, and again, not used to seeing her too much of the starting lineup, only averaging 5 points per game. But right there, she hit the 3 early. Now with the and one, she already matched her 5 points per game clip, and now at the free throw line. Nice drive and strong finish for Flood-Francis.
Yeah, using her body, getting right to the basket and getting the shot to fall. She converts the 3-point play. Now California up 18-7. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in this first quarter of play.
The last game between these two teams, California got a big lead early, but UPJ battled back and cut that to within 10 at the end of the game. So kind of similar start to last game.
Parsons now has it, gives it over to Jasper. 2-on-2 break. So now Jasper gets the ball right back from Flood-Francis. Pressure, it has to move back up.
Smart decision there by the youngster and Jasper to take that one out and not try to force anything on the inside.
Flood-Francis elects not to shoot, gives it over to Hahn. Hahn, the better 3-point threat. She puts a shot up, no good. Now Jasper has it yet again with a fresh shot clock.
California now getting those offensive rebounds, 9 total rebounds in this one, paying out big for the Vulcans.
Some sub-ins coming for the Mountain Cats at the next break. Alexis Hartwick as well as Nicole Olkowski. As Sporio drives in, gives her over to Hahn, and she will get her pocket picked by Gabrielle Smith.
I think Sporio was expecting Hahn to come get that one. It'd be closer to the rim there, but she laid back, and Pitt-Johnstown read the pass and stole it.
All the way over to Tori Moreland. Now back over to McCabe. McCabe, a wide open shot, no good. Hahn right there for the rebound. Boxing out, that's what you have to do. Get the rebound, help set up your offense. Valacorsa also, Gina Valacorsa coming in for California. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this first quarter of play. California up 18-7 still. Make that 20-7 as Shatera Parsons knocks down a 2-pointer.
Nice shot there from the corner, just inside the three-point line, getting that one to go. Those about 15-foot jump shots, that's what Parsons lives off of.
That is her bread and butter, getting right to those high percentage areas. And right there, Gabrielle Smith did exactly that. Got right underneath the hoop and made the bucket.
Yeah, the sophomore shooting 65% this season. So when you get her on the inside, she expects shot to go up and in.
Jasper gives it right over to DJ Hahn, finds Sporio in the corner. Looks like she was spotting up to shoot. She elected not to. Now with 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Jasper going right to the hoop, giving it over to DJ Hahn. Hahn shot up and good, rattling around the rim.
This is some of the best offense I've seen California play so far this season, being very patient, not taking tough shots, not forcing any bad shots, and showing shooting 50% here in this first half is much improved from what we've seen.
We're going to see Gabrielle Smith turn it over yet again, and that will be a charge. DJ Hahn, she just draws those out there on the floor. Foul called on Gabrielle Smith, like I mentioned.
Another steal there for Sporio right after that charge call. I think California had a fast break, and probably would have liked to not have that charge called as they had numbers back the other way.
They definitely did. Now with 8 seconds, Jasper's going to let the ball roll to her, then pick it up, bring it across that huge Pitt logo right at half court. Hahn shot up. Be no good off the side of the rim. Gina Valacorsa trying to be there for the rebound. She cannot. So the first quarter will end. Score of 22-9. Stay tuned as we have some more Vulcans basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Hello and welcome back into the UPJ Athletics Center here from Johnstown, Pennsylvania. You can see there on your screen, Jess Strom, the head coach at the helm for this California Vulcans, as they are up in this one 22-9 at the start of the second quarter. And Dylan, you said it's the best offense you've seen California run in quite some time. They're being patient out there on the floor. They're not pushing anything. They're getting to those spots where they can knock down shots, and that's what you like to see if you're a head coach.
And that's without Mia Couchon. We haven't seen her. Danny mentioned it in warm-ups that she looked like she wasn't feeling too well. That could be the reason you see her dressed on the sideline, but not showing a lot of energy. Like could be an illness causing her not to play in this one.
That's something with this California Vulcans team in pregame. If they're not dancing around, you think something is wrong.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's a good gauge of how this team is going to come out and how ferocious they're going to play.
Sporio again, almost with the steals. That one goes out of bounds. Danny Sporio, you could tell that she's turned it up a notch playing against her former team.
She most definitely is. It's likely the first time she's been on this new court, so she wants to make her presence known. Pass into Olivia McCabe, great outlet pass. That will be off of Marina Nunn.
Looked like Sporio, Parsons definitely tipped on out of bounds, but California will retain possession nonetheless.
Coach for UPJ not liking that, obviously, as quite a few times he's been having some words with the referees.
That and the fans, they've let out a couple groans in this one.
Jasper now giving it over to Hahn. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Jasper is something she hasn't had a shot up. Actually, she had put up one in the lane, as well as from the free throw stripe here today as California turns the ball over. Hartwick in transition now for the Mountain Cats, taking it all the way coast to coast against her former teammate, her former high school teammate at Central Dauphin. My alma mater as well, Olivia McCabe. Hard to the lane, no good. Getting her own rebound, putting a shot up, no good as well. And then UPJ, another open shot. New sub in for that, that's Nicole Olkowski.
Yeah, these officials are definitely letting these two teams play. California is yet to be charged with a foul. UPJ with only 3 fouls called against them. So far, refs are saying have at it.
Parsons shot up, kind of a step back shot, no good. UPJ trying to take advantage and really shrink that lead. Now it's stretched out to 11. Hartwick, no good. Shot up by McCabe, she will be fouled. I believe that's going to be called on Bianca Jasper.
Yeah, I'm not sure Jasper's who you want to be guarding McCabe as the forward/center, the young freshman point guard, and Bianca Jasper. I don't think that's the matchup California wants right now.
I don't know if that's the person you want to foul either in that situation. She is shooting 79.5% from the line. Shot up and good, making her first. California now leads by 10.
Big free throw there. We were just saying how well California's offense has been playing in this game, and then here, almost 2 minutes into this second quarter, California's yet to score a point.
Sinks both from the line as Olivia McCabe. So now California trying to make up some space for themselves, if you will. So now DJ Hahn working against Tori Moreland, the new sub in. Corsa driving in now. She'll be called on the travel. Kind of looked like she picked her dribble up and walked a little bit too far. So now Marina Nunn gives it into Hartwick, then gets it right back. 8 minutes and 9 seconds left before halftime.
So again, not to start the second quarter, California won. If you're UPJ, you want to take advantage of this. Lead's cut down to 9 right now. It's going to be a big possession for the Lady Mountain Cats.
Hartwick then passed it over in the corner, shot up, no good. My vantage point cannot see who shot that one, but there was a foul called on the floor. It's going to be on,
I believe McCabe.
I believe number 33, Nicole Olkowski.
Could have been on, could have been on either McCabe or Olkowski. They just tried to go kind of a frustration foul there.
Yeah, trying to get the ball back.
Sporio, again, right there, had a nice play again, going after that loose ball and drawing that foul.
On the outside now, Sporio has it, working against Nunn still, using the pick from Shatera Parsons. Over to Jasper now with 12 seconds left in the shot clock. Corsa gives it over to Sporio in the corner. Pressuring, turning up the heat are the Mountain Cats. Goes off of them now with 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Has to draw something up quick.
Yeah, you do. In California, maybe without Flood Francis out there on the court, that may be what is hurting them right now. She provided lots of energy for this offense, but without her on the court, haven't quite seen it here.
Hahn shot up at the buzzer, no good. Alexis Hartwick comes down with the rebound. Working up the floor, still against Shatera Parsons. Over to Nunn. Gives it over to Tori Moreland. It'll be off of a tip from California, the referee says.
Looks like she dribbled it before it went past half court.
Nunn, pass over to McCabe. McCabe give it over to Moreland. Passing it around that three-point arc. Hartwick shot up, no good off the back of the rim. UPJ keeping this possession alive, getting the rebound. Now setting up their offense. Moreland picks up her dribble, drives in, and one. Count it, that is a foul on Gina Corsa. Heads up play there from Tori Moreland, the freshman 5'5" guard.
And we mentioned California on a run earlier. UPJ now on a 6-0 run to start out the second quarter. And they've cut this lead down now. And California's going to need to slow down. California's yet to score in this quarter, so looking for something on the offensive end as now Corsa checks out. Flood Francis checks in and see if that makes a difference to the offense for California.
Gabrielle Smith also comes in for UPJ. Olivia McCabe subs out. Flood Francis now with it for the Vulcans. Parsons has it, not really a three-point threat, so they kind of give her some space. Driving in, and she will be called on the travel. Moving a little bit too much.
Yeah, I feel like I jinxed California and mentioned before the end of the first quarter how well the offense was looking, and now with closing in on 4 minutes of action without scoring a bucket.
Something we saw earlier in pregame, we were kind of watching that WVU. I mean, we're talking about Pitt, so why not? We were watching the WVU game, and they haven't scored in 4 minutes, kind of emulating exactly that as Gabrielle Smith getting right to the basket, getting the shot to fall.
They've already matched their first quarter points here with 9 just in this quarter, and now it's a ball game, only down by 4. This is exactly the start to the second quarter that Pitt-Johnstown wanted.
California's kind of giving UPJ a little bit more space than they did in that first quarter of play. That's why we saw this such drastic difference as Hahn shot up in the corner, no good. As now Nunn comes up with the ball, trying to push this pace up the floor. Inversely to how California was really doing in the first half. They were trying to slow everything down. So now Tori Moreland puts up a shot, and she will be fouled. They're gonna say that is on the floor, I believe. And they will.
I'm going to say it's
actually, they're going to say it was a shooting foul, yeah.
Looked like Hahn kind of grabbed her as she was dribbling. I'm not sure she was going up for a shot, but she's going to be at the free throw line.
And making the first. Now they're on a 10-0 run.
California still yet to score in the second quarter.
California registered their third foul just there. Pitt-Johnstown has 4. Missing the second. Almost said that a little bit prematurely. Jasper now has it for California, trying to make up some space. I kept saying that before, but now more than ever, as Gianna Flood-Francis, a wide open drive as it was shut down at the last second. California will keep possession with 18 seconds left on the shot clock, but you like to see that. You like to see them driving to the basket, trying to put up a shot and getting to those high percentage areas. Now taking off some pieces of uniform out there.
Looks like she took a leg brace, just ripped it out of bounds.
Jasper now looking for someone to give it into, and now Shatara Parsons has it. Speaking of uniform, Bianca Jasper has a little bit of a shoulder brace on, if you will. I guess it's just, looks like an ace bandage, and there's a foul called.
Moreland tried to draw a charge, and they're going to get her with the block on the defensive end. Now California, 30 seconds on the shot clock. California's going to have to settle in, play their offense like they were in the first half. They're finding wide open looks in that first quarter, so have to see that here.
Parsons shot up the first bucket of the second quarter. That was from Shatara Parsons, now stretching their lead to 5, stretching their lead back out to 5.
And a 15-foot jumper, that's, like you said, Danny, her bread and butter. She hits that one.
She's 3 of 6 here tonight with 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 6 points. Right in front of us now, Shatara Parsons bringing it up the floor. Hahn fakes the shot, gives it over to Parsons. Parsons working against Alkowski. Jasper in the corner, gives it over to Flood Francis. Using all of this shot clock as DJ Hahn puts a shot up and moves that nylon. Another shot made from California, 2 in a row.
I think Flood Francis is that key to the offense. She just provides so much energy. She's moving, dribbling with the ball, moving without the ball, and it's really opening up some space for some open California looks.
Smith pressured. California comes up with a steal. That's something they're doing a lot in the first quarter of play. Now they're slowing down their offense, trying to take some time off this game clock. Parsons shot up from the free throw line and sinks it yet again. Just like that, Dylan, back out to 9.
Yeah, it is, and crazy. It goes so long without making a bucket and then making 3 straight shots, 3 straight possessions.
And another steal now. Shatara Parsons shot up and good. That's 4 straight possessions now. California, you kind of reverse jinxed them in a sense, Dylan, so you saved yourself a little. I'll give you that. You saved yourself. As California is now shooting 4 of 8 in the second quarter of play, and for Pitt-Johnstown, they're shooting 3 of 8. We're going to look at some team leaders, Dylan, for California.
And you can see here the scoring and the rebounding as Parsons just passed up Mia Couchon. I noticed last game, Mia Couchon still was leading her in terms of rebounds, but Parsons has taken over that spot there at 7.5, a little over 7.5 per game, 21 points per game as she started out on a high-scoring clip her first couple games of the season. Bianca Jasper, the freshman, there with 75 assists. The steals there with Parsons at 67 and minutes played there with Parsons as well. Looks like she's feeling a little better in terms of health-wise. We've seen in the past couple of weeks, she's been dealing with some injuries.
And Shatara Parsons, speaking on her, she's already in double digits here today with 10 points. Right behind her, DJ Hahn has 9. Now look at the Pitt-Johnstown leaders.
McCabe and Smith there, both at 14.3 points per game. McCabe also leads the team in rebounds, so that's going to be a big part of this team moving out, as McCabe has provided some great offense for this team for several years, as well as on the defensive end. They're gonna not like to have her off shooting up for them next season, as again she averages a double-double this season from Portage area high school. So for her, a bittersweet end to her career, as they mentioned her during the pregame as well. So we'll talk briefly about her major's elementary education. I heard in the pregame that she's interested in getting into elementary teaching after she completes her playing career. So that's what they say about Division II. It's not all about the athletics, it's about the education as well.
Most definitely is, as UPJ throws it out of bounds. Not smart on that one.
Another mistake there, as California can extend their run, as UPJ started out on a 10-0 run, and California can match that with a 10-0 run of themselves with a bucket here.
Talia Casals as well. Something to mention, she's coming back into this ball game, or coming into the ball game for the first time here today. Taking over that Bianca Jasper role as she takes a seat for the first time here today. Parsons from the free throw line, and good yet again. She's a mid-range shooter, but she's also close, right underneath the basket. That registers her 12th point here today.
You mentioned it there. Basketball's a game of runs. Both teams now with 10-0 runs so far in the second quarter, and another turnover there for Pitt-Johnstown. It's like the wheels are falling off right now at the regroup. Expected that out of the timeout, but we just haven't seen it.
And Alexis Hartwick, a sophomore, she got quite a few playing minutes last season as a freshman, and she continues her role playing the most minutes out here for the Mountain Cats this season as well with 34. They have 34.2. We just saw that stat. So now Parsons on the outside, gives it back over to Hahn. Hahn spots up a three-pointer, and nothing but air on that one, unfortunately, as UPJ will take over.
Yeah, Hahn trying to hit those open looks from behind the three-point line, but wasn't able to there and missed everything like you mentioned, Danny.
And Maddie Shanahan coming back into the game for the Mountain Cats. Subbing out was Mia Otterson. Hartwick now trying to get that last possession back, as she was called on travel last time down the floor. And she's going to keep it alive for UPJ, and then California right there to get it back. Swinging around the outside over to Flood Francis now. Wide open shot. Why not? Put it up. No good. As Olivia McCabe coming down with the rebound.
Flood Francis is going to be a big key for California. You can tell that, if not this season, but definitely next. You can tell that she has a scoring ability that we have yet to see really put on display.
And California looks like foot was out of bounds when they touched the ball, so UPJ will retain possession with 19 seconds left on the shot clock. 2 minutes and 1 second left before halftime. Hartwick finds Moreland on the inbound play. Hartwick working against Abby Sporio. And McCabe trying to draw in. Foul called on Natalia Casals. I believe that will be on the ground. Inbounds play yet again with Alexis Hartwick. Jameer Jeffries coming in for DJ Hahn.
First time seeing her here in this one.
Another foul called. Just like that, California is up to 5 fouls, I believe. And it will be her 5th foul, so both teams at 5 fouls. Shot up and good for number 31, Tori Moreland.
Ends the drought for Pitt-Johnstown, as they've now, that's the first basket in a little over 3 minutes.
Second one is good as well. She's at 65% free throw shooter. Showing exactly why you don't really want to foul her out there on the floor. See all across the board, I don't really see anybody out there for UPJ shooting less than 50% from the free throw stripe. Off of Marina Nunn, California will keep possession.
And you can't say the same about California there from the free throw line. They only shoot the ball at around 65% on the season. A couple free throw shooters below 50%. So for California, they like to get to the free throw line, but they need to do a better job of executing once they get there.
And a long shot from Shatara Parsons, no good. Shanahan coming down with the rebound for UPJ. And I was talking about it, it's kind of a little bit sporadic. You have a lot of highs for California, high free throw shooting percentages. And you have some lows as well, as California sits at 65, UPJ at 66. No good on the shot from number 33, Nicole Alkowski. California will take over, a little bit of a push there from Olivia McCabe.
Yeah, tried to get that rebound over Parsons. Not just tough, the way that Parsons has been rebounding the basketball the last few games make it tough for anyone to try to get a rebound over her.
That last foul was actually on Maddie Shanahan. Gasol's keeping it alive for the Vulcans. Now 1 minute and 5 seconds left before halftime. California up 32-21. Parsons trying to find, or excuse me, Gianna Flood-Francis trying to find Parsons, could not as the ball was tipped away by UPJ. Now Alexis Hartwick with it. Hartwick at the top of the key working against Natalia Casals, driving in. Elects to bring it right back out. Now pressured by California. Right in front of this, and I believe a timeout is called. Or that pressure getting right into the heads of the Mountain Cats here today.
In that timeout, chance for California to regroup a bit as this second quarter winds down. They haven't been scoring like they were when they were on that run. A couple turnovers there for the Vulcans. Both teams now. California with 6 turnovers total, and Pitt-Johnstown with 14. So again, that's their average for the season there, Pitt-Johnstown. They already have that here in this first half. And there's our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. That's where you're catching our game here today. Wednesday's game won't be on CUTV Sports 1. That'll be on the PSAC network. So be sure to check out the calvulcans.com website to see our link for the PSAC network, and we'll have that up on Wednesday. But thank you for watching. There's our Stretch live streaming service. Also available for Roku. Also, if you have the PlayStation Vita app, you can get that game on your PlayStation as well.
And McCabe underneath the basket, no good. Trying to get that rebound, and she will. And finally, Shatara Parsons with an explosive play on that one. Parsons gives it over to Abby Sporio. As now with 20 seconds left, Abby Sporio has it. Working against Nunn. Over to Jeffries, back over to Parsons. Parsons driving in, shot up, no good, but a foul. Huge foul now. We're gonna see an explosive drive right to the basket.
Parsons now at the free throw line.
9.1,
yeah, seconds left. Pitt-Johnstown may get an explosive play to get in here before halftime.
Now 33-21. An explosive stretch now for California. Attempts her second, and it is good. Score now 34-21. Moreland working up the floor with 5 seconds left. Fakes the look, gives it over to Hartwick. 1 second left on the clock, puts up the shot, no good, as California goes into the halftime break up 34-21. Stay tuned, we have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1. Stay tuned.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks. Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Hello and welcome back into the UPJ Athletic Center in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, as California is up in this contest 34-21 at the end of the first half of play. Welcome into the broadcast yet again. I am Danny Beck, and joined alongside me is Dylan Godet. And Dylan, really this California team playing good offense. I kind of decided to not really play a little bit in the beginning of that second quarter of play, but then came right back and busted out to a lead, and that's why you see the score like that.
Yeah, exactly why. In Pitt-Johnstown, they're shooting only 7 of 26. It's just not how they wanted to start their game out there from the field goal as well. And three-pointers, 2 of 9 for California, 1 of 6 for Pitt-Johnstown. I think that both teams may have started out 3 out of 4 and then have missed their last several three-point shots. Both of these teams rebounds there. Pitt-Johnstown does have the advantage, 21-16. That's kind of expected there with the much bigger team in Pitt-Johnstown. Turnovers, Pitt-Johnstown with 14, the Vulcans there with 6.
Yeah, and this California team getting points off turnovers, as California has 17 compared to UPJ's 4, and points in the paint as well. California just getting right to those high percentage areas, 10 points in the paint, only 3 second chance points. UPJ is getting a lot of those second chance points, going straight back up and getting the bucket to fall, as they have 11. And California also is staying out of foul trouble. Have, as we knock on the table, 5 fouls here today, and UPJ with 7. So California, they want to keep these, possessions in mind. You got to score on every single drive into the lane, and that's going to be big for head coach Jeff Strom and the California Vulcans here for the rest of the game.
And they've been stealing the ball without fouling as well. 10 steals for California. And although all those 5 fouls were in the second quarter as well. So really a tale of 2 quarters in this game as well. California with a 22-9 advantage in the first quarter. It was tied 12 apiece, with both teams making 10-0 runs in that second quarter. So now we're back to action here in the third. Danny, I think definitely be interesting. Can California keep up what they had in that first quarter here in the second half?
And right there, Shatara Parsons trying to keep up exactly what they had in that first half of play. Could not convert underneath the hoop. Now with Gabrielle Smith working against Parsons, feeling that pressure as Flood Francis now pressuring her. Abby Sporio, the steal machine. Hartwick now finding an open lane, getting to the basket, no good. Slapping the ball with Shatara Parsons, but coming up with the rebound is Abby Sporio. Flood Francis driving to the hoop, same spot that Shatara Parsons missed from, kind of bricking it off the side of the rim. So now Nunn going to the hoop. It'll go off the bottom of the hoop, but looks like Shatara Parsons might have got her hand on it.
Believe she did, and California trying to quickly get to the basket in both of their first 2 possessions, just unable to do so. Now
Nunn looking to pass the ball in, finding nobody, then eventually finding Olivia McCabe, could not get the bucket to fall. So now California takes over possession with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. But Francis gives it over to Hahn in the corner. Hahn working against Gabrielle Smith. That's a little bit of a mismatch, height-wise. Now with 9 seconds left in the shot clock, Parsons puts up a shot, and it's good. Now going to the line to attempt the 3-point play. I was kind of waiting for if they were going to call it maybe out of play, but they won't. Say it stayed on that backboard.
And the home crowd has not been favorable of the officiating here today. I can hear some fans behind us. The whole game they've been questioning the officiating.
Completing the 3-point play, and that gives Parsons 17 points here tonight. That's big for her, as she is 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds as well. has 3 steals. Now Alexis Hartwick trying to keep her dribble against Gianna Flood-Francis. Finds Moreland on the outside working against Parsons. 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Smith driving in. No good, kind of threw it at the rim. That's another second chance point as Olivia McCabe registers her first bucket of the second half of play. Now Jasper bringing it up the floor. Right across that Pitt logo. Gives it over to Parsons. Attempted the give and go, steps back, gives it over to Flood-Francis, then finds Hahn. Hahn step back off the front of the rim, no good. Alexis Hartwick coming down with the rebound.
Very tough shot there by Hahn. Don't think that was the shot California was looking for. Trying to get easier buckets, that's what California's game plan should be here in the second half.
Give it over to Gabrielle Smith, turns around. Tip pass by Shatera Parsons, and then a headlong pass over to Abby Sporio. Shot is good, kind of getting away from Alexis Hartwick and just putting the shot up. Big for Abby Sporio. That's her 6th point of the night, rather.
And all 6 of those points have been transition buckets, points off of turnovers as well for Sporio.
So now Gabrielle Smith driving in yet again, spinning away, feeling the pressure, trying to put a shot up, falls. And I believe that would be Shatera Parsons called on the foul.
Sporio, I think, reached in there at the last second. She kept trying to steal it. Foul will be on Sporio, but just reached in there and fouled her while she was shooting.
You know, why not? You already have 3 steals here tonight. Why not keep it up? As Gabrielle Smith hits her first. Score is now 39-24. Smith is 64.3% free throw shooter, hits both. California up by 14 now. It in to Bianca Jasper. 7 minutes and 15 seconds left before the 4th quarter of play begins. Feeling the pressure from Alexis Hartwick, kind of shrugging it off, is Bianca Jasper. Finds Hahn over to Sporio. Sporio then drives in, gives it over to a wide open Flood-Francis, elects not to shoot. Over to Hahn now. Hahn driving in, shot up, and no good. Flood-Francis there with a tough rebound over quite a few taller defenders for UPJ, but UPJ ends up with the basketball.
Flood-Francis has been a huge factor here for California. Not going to show up too well in the stat sheet, but if you watch this game, I'm sure Coach Strom will see it on tape. Flood-Francis has been a key factor in this one.
She most definitely has in the defensive and offensive side of the ball, kind of just being there at the right time. Now Moreland forced to give it over to McCabe. McCabe could not handle it. If she was about 4 inches taller, she probably would have been able to corral that one.
And that's a statistic, too, with Flood-Francis back to her. And the plus-minus, that's where her play is going to show up, as California's played much better basketball with her out on the court here today.
California shooting 2 of 6 this quarter, and UPJ shooting 1 of 5. So now Shatera Parsons tries to go up, and good defense there from UPJ. Get right in her face.
To get right in her face and made her force up a tough shot again with 17 points. Parsons has been the driving force on this offense and scoring-wise.
Parsons almost lost possession, keeping it alive. Give it over to Flood-Francis. Flood-Francis tries to go hard in. It'll be a jump ball. Heads-up play by UPJ to get their hand on it. Tough break for Flood-Francis. She was thrown down pretty hard to the ground.
That she was. I'm a bit surprised by that call, but you like the aggressive play by Flood-Francis. She tried to draw the foul. Easy could have gone either way. Nice play by her.
One almost coughed it up, but gives it over to McCabe. Alexis Hartwick shot up. No good off the front of the rim. It's now Flood-Francis just putting her body out there on the floor, trying to get the ball back for her offense. And just like that, her offense turns the ball over as Tori Moreland comes up with the ball.
There's an errant pass there by Sporio. Got that one stolen away.
Alexis Hartwick traveled on that one as right before she was passing the ball away. 5 minutes and 29 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of play. Both of these teams combined for 9 points. California on the right side of that one with 5. So scoring really isn't, since that 1st quarter play for California, they've really just gone right off a cliff, it seems like. Shooting 10 points less than they registered in the 1st quarter of play compared to the 2nd. Parsons gives it over to Sporio and gets it right back underneath the basket. Nice give and go right there combination from Abby Sporio and Shatera Parsons.
She's quickly closing in on a 20-point effort in this one. 19 points now for the senior leader for California.
So now Gabrielle Smith has it, and Gianna Flood-Francis right there to pick her pocket yet again, right underneath the basket, and good. California jumps out to a 43-25 lead now.
This is Flood-Francis' 8th point in this one. She has 3 steals and 2 rebounds to go along with those points.
It's the largest lead now for California here tonight at 18. So now McCabe gives it over to Gabrielle Smith. Smith mismatch against Bianca Jasper, and that's the mismatch that you were talking about a little bit before, Dylan. And right there, Smith taking full advantage of it.
Smith now the first player for UPJ in the double-digit scoring there with her 10th point.
Shooting 4 of 9 here today. Parsons, great way of getting right to the basket. No good yet again on that side of the rim. That's not her friend, this side of the court. As now a turnover as Alexis Hartwick not happy about that one. I believe that will be a timeout. And Dylan, much different. That's a media timeout. A lot different play in this second half of action.
Yes, it definitely has been a bit more back and forth here as 9-6 in California on top. But here for California, our upcoming broadcast here at CUTV, Valentine's Day night, Mercyhurst will be coming to California to end this road trip for California. The date night as well, as Anthony and I are supposedly going to be at dates there for date night at the Convocation Center.
I'll act like that doesn't happen because, I mean, I'm a perfect date. Like, I can be that guy, but it's cool. It's fine.
Then next Saturday at this time, we'll be at IUP for a huge game in the PSAC women's basketball as California will be taking on the IUP Crimson Hawks. Seton Hill, the following Wednesday, will be Hawaiian night. So get your luau ready for next Wednesday. Following Wednesday, there's the 21st and the 24th. Clarion will be 90s night. So Danny, pull out your leather jacket for that one.
Okay, I will definitely do that. But I mean, you can't say that it's a leather jacket. I mean, maybe I don't know what the attire. I was a little baby. I was a little baby in the 90s, but I mean corduroy was always big.
You could go with a jumpsuit in the 90s as well. You know, a little purple jumpsuit or green jumpsuit, something like that.
Just
90s as well.
Just saying, you'll never catch me in corduroy ever. Mark my words when I say that. I'm never going to wear a corduroy.
I'll give you my corduroy jacket and have you wear it for that night.
I'm just getting nauseous thinking about wearing corduroy.
Oh, well, plan on wearing it on the 24th.
We'll see as Shatera Parsons comes up with a basketball. No good on that shot. Hitting the weight room just a little bit too much as it flies right over the basket. There's a foul called on Shatera Parsons. Alexis Hartwick kind of lets out a finally on that one. That's Parsons' second foul here tonight. Hartwick looking to pass this ball in. Gets it over to McCabe for the give and go, but then Moreland comes back out to get it. Gabrielle Smith not ready for that one, keeps it alive. I'm gonna say a kicked ball. It was off her thigh, but they're gonna say a kicked ball.
Hey, if it counts as your leg in soccer, I guess it counts as a kick here in basketball.
I guess so. I mean, it's connected to your foot, so why not? As Hartwick passed into Moreland. Moreland goes up and underneath Shatera Parsons. McCabe trying to do exactly that. Shot up, no good, but she will attempt to from the free throw line.
Nice move there on the inside, and California in the defensive end. You can tell as this game's wearing on, they have this comfortable lead. They're trying to get easy ones. They're trying to get steals and blocks and starting to pick up those fouls.
Now McCabe, a 79.5% free throw shooter. Mentioned that before. Shot up and good.
Again, senior day here for her, the only senior on this UPJ team. So this team has a bright future with some young players as well. Not too many juniors on this roster either. And in the starting lineup, there was 4 sophomores and the senior there as well. So
second is good as well, as she is 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Just gonna quickly sub out. Number 33, Nicole Acossi, coming back in. traversing on that baseline now as Abby Sporio brings it across half court, and Shanahan tripping right over that Pitt logo.
I would trip over the Pitt logo as well.
I was setting you right up for a little bit of a set. You spiked that home as Jasper gives over to Flood Francis. Back over to DJ Hahn. Hahn now shot up, no good. Right there for the rebound was Abby Sporio. Convenient spot for her.
I may break out in the hives stepping over that logo as well.
I'll keep you far away from it then. It's now Hahn on the outside yet again. Back and forth play as Hahn shot up, no good. Abby Sporio yet another second chance rebound. 4 chances, I guess you could say. It's 2 times 2 is 4, right, Dylan?
It's good math there, Danny.
As now Parsons driving in, no good. Another rebound for Abby Sporio.
That's 8 rebounds now on this one. Leading rebounder for the Vulcans just passed up Parsons, as Parsons has 7.
As Jasper tries to put up a shot, no good. Looks like she was pressured a little bit as Marina Nunn will come in for Tori Moreland.
Just 5 seconds left on this shot clock, so California gonna need a quick one here.
Kind of a pass and shoot. As Jasper had a wide open Flood Francis, and Shatara Parsons will drive, and there is a charge called.
Frustration. You see Mia Kushan, first time we've seen her show any energy here in this one. It's like she may be sicker or something along those lines in this one, as she jumped right off the bench, as well as assistant coaches there for California.
Now Gina Valacorsa coming in. The coaches are still barking at her. Marina Nunn working against Abby Sporio. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Good pass from Cole Olkowski over to Gabrielle Smith. Now they find themselves down by 12. Jasper gives it over to Valacorsa. Valacorsa working around the outside, over to Jasper. Jasper finds Hahn. Hahn spotting up, shot up, no good. And right there, 2 UPJ Mountain Cats gets the rebound. So he comes down with that rebound. That was Maddie Shanahan.
Something about this Pitt-Johnstown team as well. Nearly at the bottom there in the PSAC, but they fight. A very gritty team is this Pitt-Johnstown ball club.
Hartwick now has it, working against Flood Francis. Hartwick pressure, but finds Gabrielle Smith. Smith spins away and gets the basket to fall. Great move, getting away from her matchup and getting that open shot.
As California cools down, UPJ heats up, and now make it a 10-point game.
Under a minute now with 50 seconds. Flood Francis gives it over to Hahn. Hahn can't convert on her past few possessions as Jasper now gives it back over to Flood Francis. Driving in, shot up, and good with 7 seconds left in the shot clock.
Parsons may be leading this team in scoring, but Flood Francis has been making the big plays when they count for California. Big bucket there.
Abby Sporio almost tried to come away with that steal on that one as Shanahan tries to spot up, shot up, and good. Shot from her, making the score a 10-point ball game yet again. Shot clock is off. 15 seconds left before fourth quarter begins.
The freshman with the big play there for UPJ.
Doesn't look like a freshman out there on the floor. Kind of has that leadership role. Valacorsa trying to keep it alive. Jasper then keeps it alive and then tips it out of bounds. Was the freshman we mentioned, Maddie Shanahan.
And the energy in this building kind of heating up as well. The crowd getting into this one. These are with 0.2 seconds left here for California. They just got to tip this one in. They can't really catch this one. They have to, as soon as it goes, they get the ball, they have to shoot it.
Valacorsa looking in. Throws this one up and no good from Flood Francis. So the third quarter ends. California up 45-35. Stay tuned as we have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Hello and welcome back into the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown as California is up in this contest by 10, 45-35. Welcome back into the broadcast. I am Danny Beck. Once again, joined alongside me is Dylan Goday. And Dylan, that third quarter of play, California was outscored 14-11. And they really had that big first quarter. That's really helping them with their 10-point lead as they scored 22 in that first quarter of play. Now trying to get right back to that scoring as they're shooting 19 of 50. That's 38%. Here today, and Pittsburgh-Johnstown is shooting 12 of 37. That's 32%. So just trying to get back into that scoring column and really stretch this lead out.
Yeah, definitely, with Bianca Jasper now in their point guard role. See what California decides to do. No Shatara Parsons on the court right now.
Now Jasper finds Valacorsa. Valacorsa driving in, has her dribble, has her handle of it, her possession kind of stripped. 3-on-2 now. Flood Francis puts a shot up, no good. Valacorsa shot up and good, converting right underneath the hoop.
This is the lineup we're going to see next season for California as well. So I know it's still in the heart of this season, but if you're like this California team, this is what you're going to see next season.
Now Alkowski gives it over to Alexis Hartwick. Shot up and good. Big three-pointer there for Hartwick.
That cuts this one down to single digits. So they just keep chipping away. Does Pitt-Johnstown.
So now on the outside, Flood Francis gives it over to Valacorsa. It's right back in that same spot. DJ Hahn trying to answer back, cannot. Now Nunn comes up with the rebound. California up 47-38. Nunn has it, gives it over to Hartwick yet again. Going down to the ground now. Hartwick keeps it alive for the Mountain Cats. Once the foul, it's Mike Drejos. Hartwick gives it over on the outside. Shot up and good from Alkowski. Now down by 7.
I mentioned it earlier, this team for Pitt-Johnstown has a lot of grit, and they are showing it right now, battling right with this California Vulcans team.
Now Flood Francis in the corner, gives it over to Hahn. Trying to answer back. Valacorsa fakes the shot, puts up a shot, no good. It looks like somebody got a hand on it.
It won't be long until we'll see Parsons back in there. This team is just taking tough shots and not getting to the basket like we were seeing earlier in this one.
Moreland gives it over to Hartwick. Then a foul called on Jasper, I believe. And it will. That is Jasper's second personal foul here tonight. Subbing in is Emily Suckling, a name that we haven't really called much this season at all. Hartwick finds McCabe. McCabe working against Abby Sporio. That is most definitely a mismatch right there. You can see why. As McCabe gets right to the basket and gets a shot to fall. Down by 5. Forced to call a timeout is head coach Jeff Strong.
And this run for Pitt-Johnstown continues. How long until we see Shatara Parsons back in that game? They're taking advantage of the lack of size on the inside for California's defense right now. The tallest player out on the court for California would have to be Flood Francis or DJ Hahn there at 5'10", listed as 5'10". Not entirely sure she is, probably around 5'9" or 5'8" there is DJ Hahn. But nonetheless, California struggling here, Danny. And like you mentioned, Pitt-Johnstown back in this one.
Yeah, quite a few mismatches being taken advantage of out there was UPJ over California. It'll be interesting to see who else comes off the bench. Mia Cushan, Jameer Jeffries. But we're going to look at our Facebook page, California University Television. Whenever we have Facebook, if Anthony D'Agostino is in the immediate viewing area, we will find him. And he is up A little bit of a nest up there, kind of a crow's nest.
And there's our WCL crew, like you mentioned there, and Anthony and Colin. And Anthony looks a little close to that wall. It'd be a shame if he backed into it and kind of got his chair right on the wall, you know?
There's a story for that one, but most definitely check out our Facebook page. We have all of our YouTube videos that we kind of post on there. Allows us to stay connected with our family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia, as well as Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, both two places where we hail from.
That we do hail from. And Danny, you have two fellow alumni from your old high school there in Central Dauphin playing, so on both sides of the court. So that's must be pretty cool for you to see.
Most definitely is, and you know, there's a few players up in the crowd as well. You can see Alexis Hartwick, her sister Lauren Hartwick up there, as well as Nadia Romanchak. That doesn't mean anything, but just fans, you know, in the crowd coming out from Harrisburg to cheer on a fellow teammate, if you will. Bianca Jasper bringing it across half court yet again. Tara Parsons still sitting on the bench. That same lineup that we saw right before that timeout called by Jess Strom out there on the floor. Abby Sporio gives it over to Flood Francis. Emily Suckling spotting up for three. No good off the back of the rim. Trying to get that rebound, and that's going to be on Flood Francis, but she was out of bounds when she touched that one last. So UPJ will get possession.
Parsons with those 4 fouls, I didn't even realize that. She picked up those 4 fouls pretty quickly here. That's why she's not going to check in, but now she is checking in. That's a bit early there with those 4 fouls, so she's going to have to play careful on the defensive end. And Pitt-Johnstown right where they want to be right now.
I saw that 18-point lead kind of vanish pretty quick as they were once up 43-25.
Foul there. I'm not sure about that one.
Since that lead, since the 43-25 lead, California only scored 4 points. That's a huge turnover of, I guess, change you can see out there on the floor. This is a different UPJ team in the second half of play.
Parsons is back out there on the court with 4 fouls, so that's a huge story to look out for.
McCabe getting the rebound and the bucket to fall. Now down by 3.
And this is neck and neck now. This is a ball game for sure as it's down to 3. Can California battle back as they've been struggling here the last few minutes?
Shatara Parsons out there kind of getting in the face of DJ Hahn, saying you need to box out on that play. Getting underneath the basket really helped set up their offense. Okowski coming back in for UPJ. Subbing out is Tori Moreland. I'm going to talk about, too, Tori Moreland, a freshman from Indiana, Pennsylvania, so kind of going against Crimson Hawks, coming to the Mountain Cats. Flood Francis in the corner. It's over to Parsons. Jasper has it now with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Hahn in the corner hasn't shot since that three-pointer early on in this contest. Flood Francis shot up. No good off the back of the rim on that one. McCabe coming up with the rebound.
Huge possession here. They can tie it with a 3 and cut it to 1 with a 2.
Keeping it alive, Alexis Hartwick now shot up. No good off the front of the rim. Flood Francis coming down with the rebound. 6 minutes left now before the end of this contest. Setting up her team out there on the floor is Bianca Jasper.
A big possession now for California. Have to get something easy. Those easy buckets have gone away. They're going to have to try to get to the basket in some way here.
Jasper spins away, gives it over to a wide open DJ Hahn. Hahn shot up, no good. Coming down with the rebound is Alexis Hartwick.
Threes are not falling for California, so the struggling shooting woes continue.
It's Hartwick's 4th rebound, all defensive rebounds. As now that looks like it'll be out on Shatara Parsons.
Parsons has to be very careful in there. She's battling for that one. Do not want her to pick up her 5th foul if you're California.
And Miyaku Sean screaming from the bench. Haven't seen her come into this one. Looks like she's dressed to play, but haven't seen her check in. Alexis Hartwick on the outside. That's that 3-point threat for this UPJ team. McCabe looks like she would be fouled on that one, I believe. That'll be on number 11, Gianna Flood Francis.
That will be a foul. Again, kind of getting a little ticky-tack here in this one.
Definitely is, as Marina Nunn. Passes it into Gabrielle Smith. Smith trying to travel down that baseline, and Jasper coming out with the steal. Fouled by, I believe that is going to be on Olivia McCabe. That is UPJ's third foul here in the second half, excuse me, in the fourth quarter.
Second foul for UPJ.
Second foul, yeah. Look at the wrong side. Jasper finds Flood Francis, trying to travel in, and another foul called.
Again, we mentioned it as this intensity's picked up. The foul calls have picked up as well.
That's her second foul in probably under 10 seconds. Yeah, her last foul was at 5:19. This foul was at 5:09, so 2 fouls in 10 seconds. Don't want to see that. Flood Francis shot up, no good. She's hitting the weight room a little bit too hard as well. Smith finds Alexis Hartwick yet again. Both teams haven't scored in quite some time. Shot up from UPJ, no good. Olivia McCabe, big rebound. Shot up yet again, no good. Abby Sporio, lucky rebound there. Had quite a bit of height in front of her.
Her 9th rebound in this one. His rebounds have been key for the Vulcans.
Most definitely has, as they have 29 rebounds here today compared to 40 for UPJ. So it's the first time, one of the only times you're going to see California out-rebounded. DJ Hahn shot up, no good, but that's her 10th rebound for Abby Sporio. DJ Hahn spotting up, shot up, no good. Shatera Parsons shot up, no good. Foul now. Finally, as Shatera Parsons is yelling at her team, saying, need some help underneath the basket. That is a media timeout, and Dylan, much different look for both of these teams, as they've only combined for 11 points. California only has 2 of those 11 here in the fourth quarter thus far.
Yeah, definitely. California has struggled from the offensive end. You mentioned it earlier. They've scored about 5 points in the last about 10 minutes of play, have the Vulcans. There's our Twitter page at CUTV_PA. Check us out on there for all the action here that we have to offer. Some behind-the-scenes looks as well, as our 3-on-3 team, most of our CUTV intramural team is back, and we're playing 5-on-5 now. So keep you updated on Twitter with that. But back to this game here, California has just been struggling here in this about 10 minutes of gameplay. The last about 10 minutes of gameplay, they have just struggled to get the ball in the basket, struggled to find open looks. Parsons with 4 fouls. She finally gets to the line there, but she has struggled as well. And there's our CalVulcans.com website. You can check up for all the great things that Matt Kiefer and his staff does there at CalVulcans.com. They have game stories almost, I believe, after every single game that California plays, and most schools don't do that. So if you ever need to get a fresh update about how the teams are doing here at California, you can always check CalVulcans.com to get updated.
Definitely blessed with a great SID office. Everybody there helps us out as announcers, as well as just keeping us up to date with everything, as you mentioned, Dylan. Parsons misses her first. Attempting her second from the line now. Big free throws. Second shot up is good, so stretching this lead out back up to 4. 4 minutes and 6 seconds left for the end of this contest. I mentioned this is neck and neck, Dylan. Every possession counts now, as Olivia McCabe gonna back down DJ Hahn, then switches it over to yet another mismatch, as Gabrielle Smith goes right over Bianca Jasper. Could not do anything about that one. California just lacking some height out there on the floor.
Game's now within 2, so big possession here again. California have to find an easy bucket. I think they have to get it to Parsons to do that.
Definitely do, as Parsons gives it over to Flood Francis. Parsons wants the ball. She has 20 points here tonight. Flood Francis now working around a screen from Abby Sporio. Basket is good, and going to the line is Gianna Flood Francis.
Flood Francis's great night continues as well. She comes off the Abby Sporio screen and hits a big bucket and goes to the free throw line as well.
That's what you have to do. Just get out there on the floor and use whatever bodies you have to allow you to get right to the hoop, and she did exactly that. Could not convert on the three-point play, but stretched the lead out back to 4. California none, working against Abby Sporio still. Almost lost possession, but keeps her dribble. Now with Alexis Hartwick. Hartwick tries to find Gabrielle Smith. She does. And it'll be a blocking foul now called on Gianna Flood-Francis.
And that was a close one as well. Could have easily been a charge or could have easily been a no call as well, but that will send Smith to the free throw line, and Smith, leading scorer for her team here today, with 16 points.
From the line, she converts her first. Now down by 3. Sub backing in is Olkowski for Tori Moreland. Second shot up, good as well. That's a 2-point game.
Pitt-Johnstown hitting their free throws here in this one, 92%, 12 of 13 from the free throw line.
Definitely are, and they're knocking them down, and that's helping their team get back into this contest. Compared to California, they're 6 of 9. Flood-Francis working in yet again. No good as UPJ and Olivia McCabe gets the ball back. Moreland coming right back in, kind of trying to keep this offense and defensive pressure up. Bringing in some height with Nicole Olkowski, bringing back the offensive presence of Tori Moreland out there on the floor. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Smith on the outside gives it over to Moreland. Moreland shot up, no good. Abby Sporio comes up with the rebound over Olivia McCabe. Flood-Francis kind of calms this one back down.
Big rebound there for Sporio, and the freshman Moreland tried to hit a big shot for UPJ, but was unsuccessful.
Now California down by 2. Going into the huddle now. Dylan, what are they talking about?
Up by 2 here is California, but for the Vulcans, a timeout, it's a rarity for California. Just try to settle down the offensive end, try to find an easy look is the Vulcans. So with only a 30-second timeout, they're getting told to stand back up instead of sitting down here. So see what Coach Strum draws up. You don't see this too often. She usually lets her team play through situations like this, but here, going to draw something up for a bit of a younger lineup in here now for California.
I've actually never seen a referee go over and tell them to stand up, 30-second timeout. Kind of interesting. Like I said, I've never seen that before, but nonetheless, California coming back out on the floor. I think it's a little bit of a different kind of mindset for California coming back out, kind of just trying to talk to the referees, decide what they're doing wrong, what they can and cannot do, as Bianca Jasper will get the inbound play. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Jasper, kick ball actually called on Alexis Hartwick, breaking up that offensive possession. Now with 12 seconds left in the shot clock.
Big possession here. You make a shot, you're up by 2 possessions. If you miss it, you give Pitt-Johnstown, you turn it over here, you get Pitt-Johnstown a chance to tie this one or even take the lead. So huge possession here for the Vulcans.
California being outscored in this fourth quarter play, 13-5. And a pass, kind of an errant pass from Bianca Jasper, goes California's way as UPJ could not handle that one, bouncing it out of bounds.
They tried to force that ball inside. Was unsuccessful though.
Flood-Francis possesses it with 8 seconds left in the shot clock, 2 minutes left. Flood-Francis splits them, gets right to the basket, and they'll be called on a travel. Huge call on that one. From our vantage point, could not see exactly what happened, but nonetheless, we're going to stick with what the referees decided.
California now in a bit of a full court kind of token pressure here as well.
Alexis Hartwick has it for the Mountain Cats. 1 minute and 50 seconds left to go now. Getting some space for herself. Attempted a floater, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. California will take over.
Tried to go for the floater there, but California's defense just couldn't get that one to fall. I'm not sure that was what UPJ wanted on their biggest possession of the ball game so far. But again, California now, as they face some full court press as well.
Abby Sporio working up the floor, spins away from her, gets it across this half court line, and now slowing down the offense.
You see the wrap there on Bianca Jasper's shoulder. It hasn't been the same at Jasper that we've seen in the last few games. Only 1 point here for Jasper.
They attempted 1 field goal as well. As Shatera Parsons tries to go up as California will keep possession. Trying to say that to the referees that she's slapping her hands.
9 seconds left on the shot clock as well for the Vulcans.
Parsons drives in, shot up, no good. As there is a shooting foul, now attempts 2 from the line.
Parsons with 20 points again in this one, 9 rebounds as well. So closing in on a double-double is Parsons.
Just having a day here today. Gabrielle Smith also with 4 fouls. Their leading scorer here today with 18. First is no good. Still up by 2. You know, you want to stretch this out to a 3-point lead.
California only 6 of 10 from the free throw line in this game, and that's compared to 12 of 13 Pitt-Johnstown.
Hitting 1 of 2 yet again. Second time at the free throw line and second time going 1 of 2. Tori Moreland scanning the field. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Marina Nunn pressured by Abby Sporio. Another mismatch. Gabrielle Smith against Gianna Flood-Francis, getting right to the hoop and getting the basket to fall. Now down by 1 are the UPJ Mountain Cats. Kind of going back in defense now is UPJ.
California, another big possession here. Haven't been able to hit their free throws, and now it's a 1-point game.
It looked like it was a man look for UPJ, so they're going to stay in that defense. And now in this huddle, up by 1, you know, with 49.3 seconds left. Where are you drawing up, Dylan? How can you get to the basket? How can you get some much-needed points?
I think you try to get Shatera Parsons off his screen to get her a ball in the high post, see what she can do with it. But if that doesn't work, I think either Jasper or maybe Sporio try to drive in, stop, and don't force anything tough, but try to just find an easy look on the inside. Maybe even get Flood-Francis involved. We haven't seen her much doing that this season, but with her hot hand here in this one, I think it could be a good look for California as well.
You just want to see getting to those high percentage areas, keep driving that home. That's something that California has done pretty well here today. You know, in the paint, 24 points, tied with UPJ at 24. But points off turnovers, that's something that California really needs to keep up. They have 25 points off turnovers compared to the University of Pitt-Johnstown with 6. And second chance points, eliminate those. 17 for UPJ, 7 for California. So you really don't want to see that statistic go in one favor or the other. It has really for turnovers, points off turnovers, and points in the paint. California's lead at one point was 18, 43 to 25. Since then, UPJ has just flipped a switch and changed everything as they're outscoring California in the fourth quarter play 15 to 6. It's a completely different team for UPJ than it has been really in this entire first half of play.
Yeah, definitely. And California forced 19 turnovers in the first 3 quarters, but have only been able to force 2 here in this fourth quarter, and that just shows the strength of this UPJ team to keep their emotions in check and battle back in this one.
Bianca Jasper gets in the backcourt, working against Alexis Hartwick still. Swings it over to Shatera Parsons. Driving in, tries to put the shot up, and she will be fouled. Going to the line now to attempt 2. That is huge, Dylan. Now we're going to see Shatera Parsons going back to the line yet again. Third time, I believe, she was fouled in 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, it is, and that's just her ability to draw a foul. Didn't look like there was one, but she sold it on that one. Now, I think she just really slipped and fell down, but it looked like she got a foul. And I guess as the old saying goes, the ball doesn't lie. And here, she needs to hit this one, or UPJ can take the lead on their next possession.
With 38.7 seconds, there's an 8-second difference between shot and game clock. And converting her second yet again, 1 of 2. That's 3 of 6. As she is 6 of 9 from the free throw stripe. So that 8-second difference. Olivia McCabe trying to keep it alive. She cannot, will be called on the travel. Shot clock goes off with 29 seconds left.
And we mentioned it there as well. Mentioned the turnovers. California hasn't only been able to force 2 until that one with 3. And now for California, struggled from the free throw line in this one. They're going to have to hit them here as they're going to get fouled here on this possession.
And right like that, Gianna Flood-Francis will be fouled by Olivia McCabe.
She's only near 57% on the season, so not sure that's the person you want at the free throw line, but really looking down at the free throw shooting for California, really Mia Kushan, who 80% this season, she's not playing in this game. Other than that, there's only one other player over 70%, and that's Shatara Parsons at 74.
First shot is up and good, stretching their lead out to 3 now. Tori Moreland coming back in for the Mountain Cats. Subbing out is Nicole Akoski.
Flood Francis, near Cal, from near Cal there, from West Mifflin. Originally went to Salem and transferred to Cal U.
Converting both of those, up by 4 now, as UPJ forced to call a timeout, really draw something up. You might be seeing Nicole Akoski checking back in, having that offensive pressure.
Huge free throws made by Flood Francis, and it's 54 to 50 game, and so a 4-point lead for the Vulcans. And here are the standings here in the PSAC as California, Edinburgh, and IUP have all clinched to make the tournament, PSAC tournament. But again, with IUP and Edinburgh at the top there at 15-2, California sitting right behind them at 14-3. This is a huge game. You cannot fall 2 games behind both those teams, as they still have a game against IUP later in this season. So for the Vulcans, that'll be close as well.
Yeah, most definitely will. Now we're going to take a look at the PSAC East, as Westchester and East Stroudsburg, the only 2 teams to clinch. Right behind them on their heels are Millersville and Kutztown, both at 12-10 overall, 9-9 for Millersville, 7-9 for Kutztown, and Bloomsburg not too far behind. But you know, this PSAC West, these matchups, every matchup now we're going to see for the rest of the year, they're going to be big. You mentioned, the game today against UPJ, IUP, Mercyhurst yet again.
Seton
Hill, yeah, exactly.
Beating this team so far this season as well.
Yeah, a lot of these matchups down the stretch, this California team is prepared for it. But when it comes to, your playing style each game, you have to come out with a ferocious mindset, and you really just have to put your best foot forward, and that's what Jess Strom strives to do every single game. So we're going to see Tori Moreland passing it in for UPJ. 27 seconds left. California up by 4. Clock begins to tick as Olivia McCabe works down DJ Hahn, converts the shot, up by 2 now.
Senior with a big shot here on her senior day.
As now Bianca Jasper fouled by, say, Alexis Hartwick.
And see with her injured shoulder, that's her shooting shoulder as well. See how she's able to do on these free throws here.
She's moving it. She hasn't put up a basket, only 0 of 1 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And those free throws were taken on the first possession of this ball game. Jasper takes her first, sinks it. Up by 3 now, 55-52.
Huge free throw here, as it'll make it another 2-possession game with a make here.
Could not convert the second. Tori Moreland coming down with it on the rebound. Now with 16 seconds left on the clock, Tori Moreland brings it across the half-court line. Gabrielle Smith keeps it alive, driving into the basket. Puts a shot up, no good. McCabe there for the rebound and the putback. Down by 1, 7 seconds left. Bianca Jasper fouled yet again. Huge free throws now, Dylan.
Yeah, definitely, but still, UPJ has a chance, even with both of these made. They still have a chance to hit a 3 to maybe tie this one as well.
You're just going to reiterate once again, California was once up by 18 in this contest. Now they only find their lead to 1. Attempting 2 from the free throw line is Bianca Jasper. That largest lead was 4 minutes and 46 seconds in the third quarter. Jasper's first shot, no good.
So now California couldn't foul to force UPJ to shoot free throws as a make here or a miss. It's still a 1-possession, 2-point game here.
And she sinks her second. Big possession now for UPJ. Marina Nunn now bringing it up the floor. Brings it in, stolen away by Abby Sporio, and that is how it will end. California comes away with the victory, 56-54. And what a better way to come away with the victory on an Abby Sporio steal, Dylan. Abby Sporio, Gianna Flood-Francis, both of these players pivotal for this victory here today. Any last words?
Just Abby Sporio with this game-stealing play against her former team here at UPJ gets the win for California. Big win, a big stretch coming for California as well against Mercyhurst, a team that California has struggled against this season and past seasons as well. And then at IUP, huge two-game stretch for the Vulcans.
Well, thank you to everybody on our crew as we have our full TV crew here today. Thank you to everybody, our director and producer, Gary Smith, Stephen Ruffing in the truck, all of our camera people. Just like that, California comes away with a victory 56-54. And stay tuned for our next broadcast at Mercyhurst. So for Dylan Goday, I was Danny Beck. Thank you to everybody watching CUTV on CUTV Sports 1.